Hello you guys, welcome back to another video on this channel. Today, I'm not gonna lie y'all, like I was having a very creative stretch at the beginning of this year. As you know, we're only 2 weeks in, but I had like a cool 2 weeks off because I was sick and I was not getting up to film nothing. But I was like, you know what I just thought of? After having a stretch, doing a bunch of story times, things that popped into my head, New Year vibes. I kind of found myself in kind of a, well, what now? Because I was making a lot of content when I had the time, and now I'm back to a little bit of a busy schedule. If you guys aren't new here, you've seen my unpopular opinions. And my unpopular opinions tend to get some views compared to my normal videos as a small creator. So I'm like, oh yeah, like my opinions eat. My Scorpio ego wants to be like, I know. Just kidding. But my last one was unpopular opinions holiday season, holiday edition. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to do a little theme video. And I'm just doing a lot of reflecting as a 22-year-old, beginning of 2025, 2000s baby. And I'm just like reflecting that I've been out of high school for 5 years now. It's been 5 years. I feel like, can I even differentiate the 5 years? Like I'm the 2020 class. It does not feel like that was 5 years ago, but it was. It was 5 years out in this ghetto adult life, from falling in love for the first time to losing my V to sexual trauma to heartbreak to working for the first time to working different jobs to doing all this stuff. And I'm like, let me give some unpopular opinions, adult edition, adulthood edition. Let's go. I'm gonna be completely honest. I feel like I hear this, especially in the girl and the young woman community. A lot of girls, which y'all know I make videos about this when I said what isolation taught me, when I just like talk about how I was single until now for almost 2 years of my adulthood. I was single my whole 21 year, okay? I got out of a relationship when I was 20, and now I'm in my first one since then at 22. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people talk about how, like, be single, girls. It's so liberating. You need it. You'll feel amazing when you're by yourself for that long. You won't even want to look back. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That's not how I felt. That's not how I felt. Now, is being single, is being by yourself for some time 100% necessary? Absolutely. I'm not saying it has to be in adulthood though. There's some people who are high school sweethearts and it works out. They're able to grow individually and together, you know what I'm saying? But just like being single, if needed, if that's what your life comes to and you gotta learn some stuff on your own, 100% needed. Like heartbreak taught me a lot. Being by myself taught me a lot. I didn't finding, oh, it's so liberating and you'll never even want to look back and you'll get so used to it. That's personally not how I felt for being there for almost 2 years. Y'all, I never had the phase. Y'all know how, this is another problem about adulthood. People are always like, when you're single or when that one heartbreak hits you, like you'll be so happy to be single. You'll be on the dates. You'll be doing hookups. You'll be outside. I'm someone I've never had that phase. Okay, so like I just think it's like, and that's what I hate, that like everyone says everyone needs to go through that phase. It's not in everybody, baby. And it wasn't in me. Okay, single or not. I've been to the club twice as a 22-year-old. Like you know what I'm saying? It's just like it's not as liberating for everybody because not everybody likes hookups. Not everybody likes sharing their energy with different people. Not everybody likes like, oh, new person, new experience. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Scorpio. If you guys get into little things, I'm a fixed sign. I'm not saying this is everybody. It's just me. I'm into astrology a little bit. The rest of the chart counts. But I was like, one thing I noticed about myself, um, is that I really like to have partnership. I like to have partnership. And again, it's different for different people. How people were raised or their upbringing can also play a huge part. If they're raised by a single young turn mom or young turned single dad who did their thing and blah blah blah, then maybe it looks positive to you. It looks like, oh, this is what it is. I came from two people who have had each other since they were 19 years old. No split ups, no bullshit past, no cheating. Your dad used to, none of that. Not saying that it wasn't hard. I'm sure it was extremely hard because they're in their 50s now. They've been together longer since together than like their whole life. You know what I'm saying? 19 versus like 30 years. So it's like I saw a healthy partnership dynamic growing up, and that's what I've always wanted. And just like being in something low key made it to me just it like y'all be honest, love works makes life worth living in my opinion. And it doesn't have to be everybody. Like I said, some people are more like, no, this career will make my life worth living, this will make my life worth living, and 100% that's up to you. But I was like, even when I was in relationships, I was stressed about other things, right? I might have been stressed about family relationships, my career, but it was always like, oh, like, but I still have someone to love and to care for and care for. Like, I just enjoy partnership. So to me, it wasn't needed. Was it needed? Yes. I registered so much. I went back to therapy, watched any of my other videos in the Yap Sessions playlist to hear about my journey. So necessary, but so hard, so draining, so sad, so feeling alone, which is all things that, like I said, we need to feel. But when people say, oh, it's more fun, and after you go through one thing, you just be feeling like kid, and it's more fun this way, and never looking back. I never felt that way. Comment if you never felt that way. Like, I like relationships, I like partnerships, and I just personally never really enjoyed or felt like liberated. I did feel liberated because I'm a huge believer in like a right person, a person who's pouring into your cup, or no one. Like not just anyone. And obviously that was my case if you watch my other videos. My last relationship before this one was abusive. So like yeah. Hell yeah, it felt better to be by myself and have a peace of mind and be away from my abuser. Like yeah. So it was definitely that was the better choice, but I didn't necessarily feel liberated or have that sexual liberation phase or like that everyone talks about. And if you do, go you, girl. It just wasn't for me. Moving on. Second opinion is the block button is absolutely necessary. Why nobody want to block these days? Oh, if you block, that shows you weak. That shows you really hurt. That shows you care. I want people to see me using my best life. To me, that gives teenager. No, I'm blocking you because I don't like. Why do you deserve to be keeping tabs on me? What? Like every ex, and I mean every ex is blocked, but especially almost every talking stage. They all had me messed up in some type of way, or if I didn't block them, I'm like, they still bother me days down the line. Watching my story, like my making their presence known, and I don't like that. And some people are like, "Oh, if that bothers you or whatever, it just shows you're not healed. It shows you're weak." I don't give a this is my page. I don't care if I don't want you bothering me. This is how I get over things. A lot of people are like, "No, you got to just keep hurting yourself and keep looking at things and that's how you really get over it cuz then you just get numb to it." I'm not that kind of healer. If I'm done with you, if something hurt me, I don't want to see nothing. Cuz why do I care? It's like out of my life. And people are like, "Oh, well, you might have to see it eventually, blah blah blah." Okay. And to me, it works out. I'm like, well, like my last ex that I said was abusive, I might be a little traumatized seeing him because, like, that's different. It was an abuse. But if it was any of my exes before that, I'm like, I'm genuinely at the point where I would not give up to see these boys. What I like, it's not like, oh, I would like to, but it's just like how people are like, oh, if you come across something and you go just like time without seeing it and then you see it now, then you're going to be hurt. No, I'm not. Out of sight, out of mind. Block anybody. Block anybody. Y'all, my block list getting so long. I block some people just for ignorance. Like I'll just be on Instagram Reels, be in a little comment section, and I like, for instance, I remember one time this guy made a reel. This stupid guy made a reel where he was like, you be watching Netflix nowadays, and all of a sudden, boom, random gay character for no reason. And all the comments were like, for real, that's why I don't watch Netflix no more. Like, it just be so necessary. It don't even be realistic to the plot. I'm like, first of all of you guys are homophobic. Like, you just created a space for homophobia. I don't like that. I blocked this creator because I'm just like, that's so weird to me. I'm like, what do you mean, boom, random gay character? It's so unrealistic. This is why I don't watch Netflix anymore. I'm like, this is very realistic. This is very realistic. Queer people are everywhere. Queer people are friends with straight people. Queer people have love stories. Like what do they mean it's so unrealistic or forces diversity? This is real life. This is real life. Like, you guys, it's just like spaces for homophobia. I blocked so many people in those comments and I blocked that creator. I don't even know them. They don't even know I exist, but I'm just like, good. I don't want to see any of you guys on my timeline. And I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, there's so many people on Instagram. If I can get out the ones that are stupid like that, it'll be a happier place for me. Like, the block button is not weak. Y'all got me messed up. Now, as a 22-year-old, as a girl in her 20s, I know a lot of us like to be young turns. We like to believe in law of attraction, manifestation. Whatever I spend is coming right back to me. So just spend it, spend it, spend it. Go on that trip, book that flight. It's not that expensive. I completely disagree with that. And don't get me wrong, I am very much a spiritual girl. Okay. I don't belong to religion. I just like different aspects. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm into astrology a little bit. I definitely believe in law of attraction and stuff like that. But I think sometimes people, like young adults, abuse that. Like they abuse law of attraction into when it's getting unrealistic. Like I feel like when it comes to money, save your money. Save your money. I know we all enjoy retail therapy. We enjoy little sweet treats. We enjoy a little craving from DoorDash. Valid. But when it comes to like, oh, just book this trip and take it from your savings, spend the rest of your savings, who cares? It'll come back. I'm like, are you guys okay? Save your money, you guys. Like, this is why some people, like in my life, even get on me. They're like, girl, why are you stressed about money? Like, you have a savings, so you have the money. Like, when it comes to me being like, I can't afford that or I can't do that right now. They're like, girl, yes, you do. You have a savings. It's a savings for a reason. Do y'all see what's going on? Y'all see this economy, the random stuff that happens, the LA fires. Mind you, I'm a SoCal resident. To anybody who has been affected by the LA fires, I'm very sorry. I'm wishing you guys healing. I hope everybody is safe. Back to what I was saying. That's the point of having a savings. To save it. I'm a girl in her 20s who lives at home, who doesn't have to pay for much things outside of like, my own gas, my therapy appointments. I don't have to pay real bills and stuff like that. So it's like, yes, I have a savings, but the point is to save for something I need, not something I want. Like, yo, I want to get out of here eventually. A moment to be like, oh, you have money, you can afford it. Is it if something happened to my dog? If something happened to y'all, if you guys know me, you see Stitch, my golden retriever, my perfect golden boy. If something happens, they're like, oh, we can't afford. I'll spend $1,000 on that dog. Okay, that's my bestie. If I was a mother one day and someone's like, oh, you can't afford it, I can afford something for my kid or whatever, like that's necessary because I have a savings. But I'm like, for me to just book a flight, book a trip, that's going to take so much to build my savings back up. To me, it's just not worth it. Like, I agree with the law of attraction to some extent. Put in the work, keep working, it'll all come back to you, blah, blah, blah. But that's the thing people don't understand is I feel like it's not on your time. It's very time sensitive. You might struggle or go through regrets or you know what I'm saying? Like I just think a lot of young people be abusing the whole manifesting law of attraction thing. Yes, I believe all those things are real, but I also feel like you have to still be smart and use your brain, y'all. Like it's not just magic. It's not just magic. Okay? I don't know. I'm trying. That's also a New Year's resolution for me in general. It's so hard to save in this day and age. I feel like my savings has been giving very stagnant, and I hope financial growth and wealth for anybody watching this video and for me, because I'm realizing some of my demons. Like I said, I can't talk because I got my own demons too that are keeping me at where I'm at, not where I want to be. So I hope everybody else sees growth in that way this year too. Moving on. As much as I get up here and I tell my dating app horror stories, I honestly think dating apps are one of those things everyone should give a try if you want to. If you want to, because y'all, I can tell you when I got on a dating app, because like I said, I lived a very sheltered life as a girl. Okay, like I said, I grew up in a healthy family dynamic. I was one of those girls. I like I said, I lost my V card out of high school. I didn't really date and like I was just a very sheltered La La Land kid, which I love. Like to an extent, I wasn't like completely ignorant, but I was very sheltered. Like I mentioned before in a lot of videos, my dad is my bestie. I'm very close with my dad. And my dad is not the typical black dad in our community, okay? I'm like my dad has never gave homophobic. He's never gave go change what are you wearing? Like I've never heard misogynistic things from my dad at all. Like he's just like the most open-minded, realistic I know. So getting on apps and stuff and just like meeting men in real life really reminded me like, oh, not everybody is like the man who raised me. And dating apps is one of them, y'all. Like I feel like dating apps, see, that's my version of when people are like liberation and when you're single, talk to everybody, hook up with everybody, and just see what you like. See, to me, as a more closeted person, like a more closed off person to how I am and just like especially after coming from abuse, that was dating apps for me. Just having conversations with some of these men taught me a lot. I remember the first guy who slid in my DMs on a dating app, who just like kind of slid in casually. It was just like, oh, where do you live? I'm like, oh, this county. And he's like, oh, I live in this county too. And y'all, literally, he just said, like, hey, where do you live? And then he's told me like he lived in the same county as me, but he moved from another state. I'm like, oh, why'd you move? Y'all, why did he respond like the third or second message? He said, first of all, he said, I don't know. Nigga, you don't know why you moved here? Okay. He said, I don't know, but you coming over or what? The second or third message. And on dating apps, I just realized I'm like, oh, like this reminded me that I'm like, I forgot. I forgot a lot of men see us as objects. And this is reality. I don't even know him. It was like 11 o'clock at night. But I'm like, I forget that some people really are like that. Some people are really going there looking for that, are really, what's up? What's up with you? I was just gagged. Like, I feel like dating apps is interesting. Like I said, if you're more closed off, just see people's profiles. Have a conversation for 10 minutes and you can just see. Like, you can just see. Y'all, some of these bios were insane, but also why I say I think everyone should give dating apps a try just to see what everybody's talking about. And like I said, you can get your little experiences in a more closed off way, not necessarily going on dates and meeting people, but even just conversations, seeing what's out there and how people think. Or you might get lucky because, like I said, I am a rare case. Not a rare case. Some people, I don't know. I thought I was a rare case because a lot of my friends who use dating apps always was like, it's not worth it. It doesn't work. I found my relationship from a dating app, which me and him are like, yeah, we didn't think this was gonna happen. Me and my man were both literally like thinking about deleting the app a few days before we matched. So you might get lucky. You might get lucky. But like I said, just use it. I feel like to see if it's for you. Don't abuse it if you don't like it. Okay, because like I said, I only used it for maybe 2 or 3 months and I was ready to get off because I was just over it. Like sometimes it is just like a waste of space, a waste of screen time, but I feel like everybody should just try it out. You know what I'm saying? Okay, another huge unpopular opinion about adulthood. Well, kind of probably might be popular, but just like revelation I had is like in high school, you know how everything is so peer pressury. It's so like you don't like that, you don't like this, you don't like this type of guy, blah blah blah. I'm like, when you grow up and you become an adult and like you're less in those such clicky spaces, you really realize no one gives a if you guys like the same things or not. Like I remember in high school, everybody was like, "You don't drink, you don't smoke," and I'm just like, "No." And like it used to be such a big thing because I was like, "Oh my god!" Like they make me feel bad. Like I feel like I just rejected $1 million. The way people are making me feel like, "Oh, that's lame," like when I was at places like that in high school. And I'm like, now it's like, as an adult, you really realize I don't like different people have different reasons. And like I said, and some people have no reason to say no to things that they just don't want to, and that's completely okay. Like me. I'm like, I'm 22 years old. I've still never been drunk or high in my life. Why? Because I hate the way alcohol smells and I hate the way weed smells. And I don't give to try it. I mean, I've tried it, but I just never got you get what I'm saying? It's just like when you grow up, you realize nothing matters. I'm like, anyone who would treat me or try to put me down or make me feel bad for not doing something that I don't want to do for absolutely no reason just because I don't want to is lame. Like when you become an adult, people start bullying those types of people. Because literally, why does it matter? Like if you want to do your thing, do your thing. Why does it have to involve me? Like it's just super, super strange. It's just weird when you grow up and you realize you don't have to do like any of this. And not even just in a sense of that. I feel like adulthood and just growing up in general is really beautiful. When it comes to other stuff, y'all, like I realized growing up PWI and just probably any other black kid can probably relate to this. Y'all, the diversity, we're getting there. We're getting there. I still want to see more black films with less people with my complexion because full dark skinned families and dark skinned women deserve better representation and better in general. So we're getting there when it comes to black representation, but it's better than when I was younger. As we know, we have Ariel, Tiana came out when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? But primarily when I was growing up, what do they show you on Disney Channel? They show you Troy Bolton. They show you Ross Lynch. Like they show all these like white or white assimilating people as attractive or girls and guys. And so yeah, I remember when I was a kid being like Jonas Brothers and all that stuff. But it's just so funny when I grow up and you realize that everybody doesn't have to like the same thing and all that. I'm like, it's just crazy. I feel like I've heard a lot of other black people have this experience. How it's like when you're young, you're just like you think things are a certain way or a certain way is cool. And it's just like it's crazy how I was like Jonas Brothers like every other 10-year old. But I'm like how now I only date black people and I've actually only ever dated black people in my life because I found my own sense of thinking rather than what the media portrays as cool and stuff like that. You know, like even in media in general, like a lot of, like I said, a lot of our representation has come a long way. And it's like, it's weird, especially like as a black girl who grew up PWI, not around a lot of other black people. You realize having like a type or something is not even really having a type. Like me and my man are both people who only date black people, and that is so broad because you know what? There's black athletes, there's black alternatives, there is a black scientist. You know what I'm saying? There's socially awkward black men, there's loud black men, there's ghetto black men, there's nerdy black men, there's anime niggas. Like it's just growing up and finding a sense of like you don't have to go with the majority and you can do whatever you want, especially like I said in the black community, especially how our community is very judgy. I'm just so glad that it seems like we're moving out of those spaces, if that makes sense. Okay, you guys, I think that is it for my unpopular opinions adulthood edition. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I kind of just thought of this one on the spot, but I feel like you guys will agree with me some more. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel and check out my other unpopular opinions or any other videos in my Yap Sessions playlist or on this channel in general. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!